Hey guys, Adam here. Welcome to another On the Couch. Today I'm going to be talking about Star Wars Rebels Episode 3. Alright, so I said last time that I wasn't particularly... that I thought the premiere episodes were okay. This one is better. This one I found to be much better than the last one. Although the biggest problem I find with it is the pacing. Now, I mean, again, I get it. It's 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute show for kids. It's got to be fast-paced. But it just didn't feel. It still needed breathing room. Just a tiny bit of breathing room, and I didn't feel like they were giving it to us. The plot of this is the crew of the Ghost, our heroes, are given a job where they have to steal some weapons called disruptors from the Empire and give it to their usual fence. But of course Zeb is not pleased with this due to having a certain history with these said weapons, and so now they have to decide what to do. Decide what to do with them and and also keep them out of the hands of the Empire. This is actually a very Zeb-centric episode, and like I said before, I like Zeb in this show. Zeb instantly became my favorite character on this show, and rightfully so. They gave us part of his backstory pretty quickly. It turns out that he's one of the last of his kind, and which I guess you could say from a production standpoint would make a lot of sense as to why we all of a sudden see a creature like him. Since he was also based off of the early concept of Chewbacca. But here you get a lot of backstory saying that he's one of the last of his kind, and because the weapons they're having to sell in order to get some money practically murdered almost killed his entire species, and even though the pacing isn't good, you still kind of feel bad because of what he is saying. You could see the fear on his face the moment he realizes what these weapons are. But then you get more history between him and Agent Callus, who turns out is the dude that murdered that gave the order to annihilate his species. And animation here looks a little better. It really does. I mean, either that or I have gotten used to it by this point. But it does look better. It looks a little more polished. And the fight scene between Zeb and Agent Callus, holy shit, is it good. It's really, really, really good. It's probably one of the best fight scenes I've seen as of right now on this show. And of course we get our first look at our first special guest appearance with R2-D2 and C-3PO. That was a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting them this early, but we got them. And they were kind of the focus of the story. They were part of the story, but at the same time they kind of felt unnecessary, except to set up the establishment of the rebellion. it felt necessary, but at the same time it felt unnecessary, and I'm a little mixed on it. Hera was basically just being the mother again, telling Kanan that he needs to start training. Ezra, which you don't see, but apparently they don't do anything. Ezra in this is better. I thought he was a lot better, a much better written character in this than he was in the other episodes. So, but again, this wasn't his story. Although they did show he had force powers. I mean, we knew he was a force sensitive, but we didn't expect him to use his force powers this early on. Although it was more of a knee-jerk reaction than anything else. But this was definitely a Zeb-centric episode. That's what this episode was about. Was about Zeb. I'm trying to think. Sabine, the rest of the crew wasn't really necessary, or wasn't really focused a lot on. It was Zeb's episode, but Sabine was really funny in this. I enjoyed her a lot. Sabine, I said last time, like, Sabine was one of those characters, because I am a Mandalorian fan. I didn't think she was a mixed bag for me, but at this point, I'm thinking of her less as a Mandalorian and more just a teenager. Even though 10-year-old Boba Fett was more Mandalorian than this girl is. But who knows? Like, I mean, they might have an episode for her where she's just straight up badass, just being a straight up Mandalorian badass. Chopper is Chopper. Chopper is like the C5 version of R2-D2, just with a little more sass. And I thought Chopper was fine in this. Oh God, I'm trying to think. And of course we got Kanan, but Kanan is awesome either way. And yeah, that's actually about it. I can't really think of anything else in this episode, but just it's fast paced. Maybe I'm not necessarily a good thing, but it is. Zeb's story was really good. The action always good. Nice seeing R2-D2 and C-3PO again. I mean, hell, C-3PO was voiced by Anthony Daniels, so yeah, that was good. And of course, we also got other characters from the other trilogies, but I'm not going to reveal those because those are like really surprise appearances. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead and give my final score on this, which is a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy this episode a lot more than I enjoyed the hour special. So I'm really looking forward to the next episode and the next episode after that. Hopefully it will be just as good. I mean, I do have a rule, like I usually wait till the mid-season finale on something, because that's usually when it gets that's when things kind of start turning around for better or for worse. Like that's what kept me from turning off Arrow or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Was that mid-season finale. So hopefully this will be just as good. Who knows? So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, 7 out of 10 for Star Wars Rebels Episode 3. I'll be back tomorrow with Gotham. Thankfully, I have no classes tomorrow since we have a 4-day weekend. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.